Hi friends, this is for Module 3, Lesson 12. Yesterday we talked about something new, data. What's data again? Yeah, that's right. It's a fancy way to say information. Yesterday we talked about how we can collect data and then organize it. Today we're going to talk about organizing data in a little bit of a different way. I think it's super fun. Let's try it out. So I took a survey of my friends and I asked them, what animal is your favorite? And I gave them 3 choices. You can see that in my chart right here. It says animal, and then the pictures of the cuties that I let them pick from. I have a piggy, a rhino, and a hedgehog. Now, I went around and I took a survey and I asked them what was their favorite. I had 4 friends who chose piggies, 7 who chose baby rhinos, and 3 who chose hedgehogs. Friends, what do you notice? That's right, I didn't use a tally chart to organize my data. I used something else. I used something called a bar graph. Go ahead and say bar graph. Yeah, why do you think they're called bar graphs? Yeah, it's not too impressive. They're just long bars. That's why they call them bar graphs. I kind of think of them like a candy bar. If you put all the pieces together, like maybe a Hershey's bar, it makes one big piece of candy. Delicious. So let's see. Why do you use a bar graph? Well, tally charts are cool, and we're going to talk about how they're the same and different than bar graphs. But bar graphs are good because you can quickly see the answer to things, like don't even count them. Don't even count them. Which one has the most votes? That's right, rhinos. How'd you know that? Well, because their bar is really long. You don't have to count again. Which one had the least amount of votes? Yeah, the hedgehog, because his little bar is very tiny, just like him. Today we're going to learn how to use these bar graphs. Our learning goal says that by the end of this video, you'll be able to answer questions about a bar graph. So, let's try it. Now, let's compare one more time tally charts and bar graphs. You'll notice they do a lot of the same things. First of all, they start by saying what you surveyed. In the tally chart on the top, it says favorite color. In the bar graph on the bottom, it says animal. Then it shows the votes, or the data you collect. Now tallies are great because they put things in 5 groups, so they're easy to count on. Bar graphs are great because you can clearly see without even having to count which one had the most votes. They are a little tricky though because they're not in clear 5 groups. It's just one big long connected line, kind of like a little train. So you have to be really careful when you're answering the questions. We're going to try it together. Here we go. So, number 1 says, which animal has the most votes? Well, we already talked about that, the rhino, because he has a really long bar. Now, it says which animal, so I don't need to say how many votes he got. I can just write his name, Rhino. Number 2 says, how many more people liked pigs than hedgehogs? Ooh, how many more? Well, that sounds like a comparison problem to me. So I know I need to look at pigs and hedgehogs, and that's it. Let's do a close-up version of that, friends. Here. All right, we're going to look at just the piggies and the hedgehogs. I'm going to put boxer on them. Just ignore the cute rhinos for a minute. Now, when we compare, we want to see how things are different. Well, let's see. Pigs have 4, and hedgehogs have 1, and oh, let's see. I see that one extra one on the pigs is different because hedgehogs have 3, and I see the pigs have 3 plus 1 more. So that must mean how many more people like pigs than hedgehogs? Well, the answer is 1, because that's how they're different. Number 3 says, how many fewer people like pigs than rhinos? Well, there's a comparison again. How many fewer people like pigs than rhinos? That means I'm going to look at just those 2 parts of the bar graph. I don't have to worry about anything else because I'm just comparing or seeing how they're different. Let's look. So just piggies and rhinos. Let's see, how are they different? Friend, press pause. Figure out how they're different. Press play when you're ready to check yourself. Okay, did you figure out how they're different? Me too. Zoop. Yep, those 3 are different. Look, if you look up, if you got your fingers and lined them right up with the bar at the top for the piggies and slid your finger down by the rhinos, you'd see that the rhino has 3 sticking off the end. I don't even need to count them. I just need to make sure that they lined up and I could see what was sticking out that was left over, or how many fewer the pig had. So, my answer for how many fewer people liked pigs than rhino? would be 3. And the last question says, how many people took this survey? Ooh, this is a tricky one because for this one you for sure have to count. And you can't go fast either. This is my recommendation. You could, of course, make a number sentence and say 4 plus 7 plus 3, and then add up to find the answer. You can totally do that, draw a picture, whatever you need to do. Or you can count the different parts of the bar graph. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to count all the different pieces as I go through. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I went a little fast, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I counted 14 pieces to all of those bar graphs. So I know that 14 people took this survey. All right, the cool thing about bar graphs is they don't all look the same. Wait to see this guy. What? Isn't that cool? This is another bar graph. I took a survey on my friend's favorite movie. Their choices were Finding Dory, Sing, and Trolls. Now the cool thing about bar graphs is they can move around in any way. So they can go back and forth or they can go up and down like this one. It's the same way to organize data, it just looks a little different because it's going from top to bottom. It's pretty fun if you ask me. Let's answer some questions now. Now, what movie did people like the least? I'm going to have you go ahead and press pause while you figure it out. But don't forget, bar graphs are helpful because they show you a good picture to show how long, so it's pretty easy to find which one is the smallest or which one's the longest. So, what movie did people like the least? Did you find your answer? Did you say Sing? You're right. Sing only got 2 votes, and its bar is really small. Number 2 says, how many more people liked Finding Dory than Trolls? Ooh, that's a comparison problem. I'm going to read it again. How many more people liked Finding Dory than Trolls? Go ahead and press pause while you look at just Finding Dory and Trolls and see how many more liked Finding Dory. Okay, do you know your good answer? Yeah, I said 2. Did you say 2? Friend, good job. That's because Troll had 4s. So if I go down on Finding Dory, 1, 2, 3, 4, anything that's left over is the difference. That's how many more? It's just 2. And how many people took this survey? Ooh, how am I going to figure this out? Yeah, I just got to add up all the pieces of the bar graph. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute, why am I helping you? You figure it out and press play to check yourself. Okay, are you ready? All right, did you get 12? Ah, friend, you're so good at bar graphs. I knew you would be, which is great because our learning goal said that we'd be able to read and answer questions from a bar graph, which we've been practicing and you've been doing a really good job at. Now it's your turn to practice all by yourself. I want you to get an exit ticket from your teacher. It kind of looks like this. I want you to finish the exit ticket. It just has a couple questions about this little mini bar graph, about types of shoe ties, and then the students who voted for them. When you're done, give it to your teacher, and you're all set. Good luck, friend.